Knew that was going to happen. Sound check, 2468. We're testing 2468. Am I too loud? Too loud. The voice man is too loud. Testing, testing. I'd rather not have my lips all the way over the microphone, so.
Is that where you're at?
Yes, that's perfect.
Keep talking a little bit.
Okay, here we go. Testing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening and welcome to Prior Lake, Minnesota for Town Team Baseball. This is part of the River Valley League East Division, and tonight it'll be the home team, the Prior Lake Jays, hosting the Cubs from Chaska, Minnesota. Chaska comes into tonight's game with a 2-0 conference record, where the Jays are 2-2. These records are all important when it comes to playoff time. The better the record, the better the seed in the postseason tournament leading to the state tournament here in Minnesota. It's town ball night here in Prior Lake, Friday night. It looks like an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball, although a little on the warm side. It's supposed to warm up into the 90s tomorrow on Saturday. But for tonight, I think we're going to have a great backdrop for town ball here in Prior Lake. For Chaska, let's give you the starting lineup. It'll be John Layton in center field, Justin Johnson catching, Kyle Geeson at shortstop, Chase Henches in right field, Matt Heller in the third baseman. The DH will be Tyler Peterson, Tyler Poster playing first base, JT Kanakas will be the left fielder. At second base will be Tony Lane, and the pitcher tonight will be number 17, Pete Onsborg. This time, I think we're going to take a break for the national anthem. Once again, we welcome you here to Prior Lake, Minnesota for Town Team Baseball. As I mentioned before, the Prior Lake Jays are the host team tonight in the River Valley East Conference, and the visiting team, the Cubs from Chaska. And now here's the batting order for the home team Jays. Leading off for the Jays, the center fielder, Zach Rapinski. Batting second, the right fielder, Jonesy Bisher. Batting third, playing second, Jeff Butler. Batting fourth, the catcher, Tommy Keating. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Rob Frederick. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Adam Kress. Batting seventh, shortstop, Mitch Goodwin. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Brent Broderick. Batting ninth, the DH, Jimmy Cosgrove. And on the mound, it's number 34 tonight for the Prior Lake Jays, Ben Koopman. Starting battery for the Jays, Tommy Keating catching, Ben Koopman pitching. Starting battery for the visiting Cubs will be Justin Johnson catching, and Pete Onsborg will be on the mound tonight for the Cubs. Crowd is starting to fill in nicely here at Veterans Field in Memorial Park. We are just about right in the geographic center of the city of Prior Lake. just 2 blocks off of Highway 13 to the east. A gorgeous, gorgeous baseball facility, one of the gems in the town ball circuit here in Minnesota. Prior Lake boasts 4 town teams, count them, 4. The Prior Lake Jays, they play in the B division in Minnesota. The Prior Lake Mudcats are in the C class. And then we have 2 over 35 teams. One is the Prior Lake Mariners, another is the Prior Lake Bald Eagles. Let's go over the defense now for the hometown Prior Lake Jays. At first base, it's Rob Frederick. At second, Jeff Butler. The third baseman, Brent Broderick. And at shortstop, Mitch Goodwin. Around the outfield, Adam Kress in left, Zach Rapinski in center, and Jonesy Bisher in right. Behind the plate is Tommy Keating. And the starting pitcher out on the mound right now, number 34, Ben Koopman, as John Layton steps into the batter's box, and he takes strike 1. Koopman is working from the stretch out there instead of giving the full windup. The 0-1 pitch from Koopman's a line drive into left field. Left fielder comes in, but it's going to fall in for a base hit. 2 pitches, 1 hit here for the Chaska Cubs. That'll bring up the catcher, number 7, Justin Johnson. Justin Johnson, a left-handed batter, wears the high knee socks. Righty against lefty, the first pitch in there for a strike. Off-speed pitch at the knees. John Layton over at first base, on with his single. The 0-1 pitch to Johnson is grounded fouled on the first base line. It was hugging the line until it got to about 10 feet before first base, and then it jumped foul. So the count will be 0-2 to Justin Johnson. So glad you're listening to us tonight on the internet, on the YouTube stream. Thank you for watching Jays and Cubs baseball. Next pitch, grounded foul again down the first baseline, but this one will roll all the way down into the corner down by the Prior Lake bullpen down the first baseline. The Jays occupy the first base dugout, the Chaska Cubs in the third base dugout. Flags are flying gently. Again, a foul ground ball down the first baseline, goes just about where the other one did, the second one. Looks like there are light breezes out of the south tonight. Not light or not heavy, but just good enough to cool things off here a little bit. It's been a hot and muggy day, but it's a nice evening for baseball. The 0-2 once again hit in the air to right field. The right fielder comes in first. Now he jogs back. And the right fielder, Jonesy Bisher, takes that one in about 10 feet in front of the track. Batting third now will be the shortstop, Kyle Geeson.
Shortstop, number 27, Kyle Geeson.
John Layton still on first base after his single. Jays are playing Geeson to pull. Center fielder over in left center. First pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking pitch, broke outside. Geeson missed it. Jays first baseman, Rob Frederick, holding the runner on over at first. The 0-1 pitch fouled back to the screen. It's 0-2 to Kyle Geeson. Veterans Field here in Memorial Park looks absolutely pristine. With all the rain we've had, it is plenty green. And the grounds crew, headed by none other than Tex Chapman, has trimmed the grass very nicely, so it looks perfect for baseball. Another foul back to the screen. The count remains 0-2. Geeson steps back into the right-hand batter's box. Throw to first base. Runner's back in time. In Class B conference action, they employ a two-umpire system, home plate umpire and a base umpire. So the base umpire now is out near second base. 0-2, hit into right center field. The right fielder goes over, and Jonesy Bishop makes a nice running catch. That ball was starting to tail away from him, but he stayed with it. So he's had 2 flyouts to right field, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, right fielder Chase Henches. John Layton led off the top of the first with a single and then 2 flyouts to right. And Chase Henches is a big, tall batter. Stands deep in the right-hand batter's box, takes ball 1 outside. Once again, Rob Frederick, the first baseman, holding the runner on. As Koopman goes into a stretch and throws the first runner back. We're excited to be able to bring you Jays baseball here on the internet. And the 1-0 delivery, a high curveball that didn't break, making the count 2-0. Henches wears a red number 3 on the back of his blue uniform. Next pitch outside, ball 3. Koopman seems to be pitching around Henches here. Low and outside, high and inside, high and outside for a 3-0 count. Stretch by Koopman and the pitch. A little bit high and outside for ball 4. Henches gets a free pass to first. That'll send Layton down the second. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Matt Halloran. Halloran, a left-handed batter. Righty against lefty now, as Ben Koopman is a right-handed pitcher. He checks the runner at second from the stretch position and fires outside corner. Nice pitcher's pitch there for strike 1. First baseman Frederick not holding the runner on at first. Koopman checks the runner at second, delivers 0-1. It's high. Ball 1. 1-1. The goal is here, fans, to be able to broadcast more of these Jays home games. So we hope that you will check it out on YouTube as Halloran takes strike 2. For those fans that can't make it out or fans that are out of town, we'd like you to be able to connect with Jays baseball. The next pitch fouled over the third base dugout and out of play. Count remains 1-2 to Matt Halloran, left-handed batting third baseman. Interesting that the Chaska Cubs catcher and the Chaska Cubs third baseman, they both bat left-handed and throw right-handed. Ground ball to the first baseman. He knocks it down, but he picks it up, goes over and touches first for a 3 unassisted play at first. And that'll do it for the Chaska Cubs here in inning number 1. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 left on base. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning. All right. It's time for the Jays to come to bat here for the first time. The first three batters due up are Rapinski, Bisher, and Butler. Pitcher on the mound for Chaska, the veteran Pete Onsor. And the first pitch into Zach Rapinski. Swing and a miss for strike one. Onsor has been pitching for the Chaska Cubs for many years. He is a good one. Rapinski playing in center field in this game this evening. The 0-1 pitch. Inside, 1-1. Rapinski graduated from University of Nebraska. He also is a Prior Lake High School graduate. Ground ball foul over by the third base dugout. It's 1-2 to Rapinski. Rapinski had a very good college career for the Huskers, and Prior Lake is glad that he has returned to play Jays baseball. 1-2. Fly ball into deep right field. Right fielder goes back, and it bounces off the fence. Rapinski rounds first, and he will jog into second with a double. Right fielder went back on that one, and he kind of acted like, I'm going to be able to catch this one without too much effort, and the ball just absolutely kept carrying all the way out to the track, and it one-hopped the fence. Rapinski on second with a lead-off double, and the batter will be the right fielder, Jonesy Bisher. Prior Lake fans, in case you're wondering why he's wearing number 25, his normal number 3 was not available tonight. So he steps into the left-hand batter's box wearing number 25 and takes strike one. Runner on second, Rapinski. Nobody out, and the 0-1 outside for a ball. This veteran pitcher, Pete Onsorg, he really knows how to nibble around the plate, hit the black part, and convince those batters to start chasing some of the pitches. Next pitch outside again, just missing the outside corner. 2-1 the count now to the Prior Lake right fielder, Jonesy. Went to Augsburg College, graduated from Augie a few years ago, an excellent outfielder. Next pitch fouled back to the screen. 2-2 count now. Each team with one hit in the top of the first. Layton got a single. And now in the bottom of the first, Zach Rapinski, he's on with a double. 2-2 count. The pitch fouled again. This one over the third base dugout and out of play. As the sun is setting in the northwest, it has left behind just a beautiful evening here for town team baseball. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball between first and second. It's going to sneak into right field. Here comes Rapinski around third. He's headed for home, and he will beat the throw. It's an RBI seeing eye single for Jonesy Bisher. The second baseman ran far to his left, and then at the last second he made a dive and could not quite come up with that grounder. So Jonesy's on first with an RBI single. Rapinski scores, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Jeff Butler. Jeff Butler, also a graduate of Augsburg University. First pitch, down low, ball one. You were watching that ground ball between first and second, and you never knew until the very last instant whether it was going to sneak through the infield. And Bisher has an RBI single. Throw over to first. He's back. It's a 1-ball count as Onsor goes into a stretch. Delivers. Ground ball foul back to the screen. 1-1. This lineup tonight for the Prior Lake Jays is a veteran one with Rapinski, Bisher, Butler, Keating, Frederick, Kress, Mitch Goodwin, Brant Broderick, Jimmy Cosgrove, and Ben Koopman. These guys have been playing town ball for a while now. Here's the 1-1 delivery. It's a ground ball out to second base, over to second for one, back to first. Not in time. So it's a fielder's choice. Second to shortstop. Bisher will be forced out at second base, and Butler will take his place at first.
The catcher, number 24, Tommy.
Chaska tried for the double play there, but the ground ball to the second baseman was just not hit hard enough. They did all they could just to get the force at second, and that'll bring up number 24, the catcher, Tommy Keating. Keating is batting in the number 4 slot tonight. Runner on first is Jeff Butler. Onsword with a stretch and a ground ball between short and third. That'll sneak through into left field. Keating has the Jays' third hit here in the first inning. And that puts runners on first and second. Butler is now out at second. Keating is on first. And the batter is the first baseman, Rob Frederick.
First baseman, Mitch Frederick.
2 on, 1 out. Jays have a run in, lead 1-0. Next pitch, outside and low. They're playing Frederick just about straight away in the infield and the outfield. The 0-1, ground ball out to short. It's a weak one, over to second for one, back to first. It's a double play. That was short to second to first, and that'll do it for the Jays in the first inning. However, they come up with 1 run on 3 hits, and they leave 1 runner on base. At the end of 1 inning complete here in Prior Lake, it's the Jays 1, Chaska Cubs nothing. We go to the top of inning number 2 with the Jays leading 1-0. They got 3 hits in the bottom of the first and scored 1 run. By the way, fans, just in case you might lose an internet connection or it might be buffering, don't worry, we're going to stay on the air. Either refresh your screen, refresh your computer, reboot, or just be patient. And the batter leading off is the DH, Tyler Peterson. And he fouls one back off of the umpire. And the umpire is going to try to just walk it off. That didn't feel very good. Tyler Peterson is batting 6th in the Cubs order. The first pitch of the inning was a called strike, and then Peterson fouled one off the umpire, so he's 0-2 right now. Koopman fires 0-2, a little bit low. It's one of those good chase pitches, trying to get the batter to go after it, as the curveball dipped way down in the zone, down by the ankles, but Peterson held up. The 1-2 delivery hit high in the air over by the third base dugout. Prior Lake third baseman Brent Broderick makes a nice catch over there. So Peterson's the first out here in the top of the second. That'll bring up the first baseman, Tyler Polster. So we have Tyler Peterson and Tyler Polster batting 6th and 7th here for the Cubs. Polster is a left-handed batter, and the first pitch into him is down low, ball 1. In the top of the first inning, the leadoff batter for the Cubs, John Layton, got on with a single, but then there were 2 consecutive outs before a walk and then a ground out. Next pitch is high. 1 out here, and Koopman continues to work from the stretch even with nobody on base. And the 2-0 pitch, down low, ball 3. 3-0 the count to Polster. Batting 7th here for Chaska. 3-0 pitch. Outside low, ball 4. That'll be the second walk given up by Koopman. That'll bring up the left fielder, J.T. Kanakis.
Left fielder, J.T. Kanakis.
Couple of youth ball players acting as bat boys for Prior Lake tonight. One from the Prior Lake youth baseball system, one from Bloomington. They're doing a great job being bat boys. Line drive into right field. It's falling, and the right fielder comes in and makes a great catch. And the throw to first base looks very close at first base. Looked like they had the runner doubled up. Prior Lake right fielder Jonesy Bisher came in on that quickly dying line drive, picked the ball up before it hit the grass
Second baseman, number 3, Tony.
for the out, and his throw into first base was absolutely excellent. The base umpire called the runner safe trying to get back, so it'll bring up the number 9 batter, Tony Lane. 2 outs, runner on first. First pitch is high, ball 1. Another left-handed batter here in the Cubs lineup. They've had their share of lefties facing Ben Koopman. The next pitch outside, ball 2. I know for sure the catcher and the third baseman and the first baseman and now the second baseman, at least those have all been left-handed batters. Ground ball between first and second. That'll find its way into right field. A ground ball single here for the number 9 batter, Tony Lane. He pulls up at first base. Polster moves down to second, and it'll turn the lineup over. Top of the order, John Layton here in the top of the second.
Center fielder, John Layton.
So that hit by Tony Lane is the second hit of the game for Chaska. They have 2 walks as well. And Koopman to Layton, throws outside and low, a wide sweeping curveball for ball 1. Chaska had 2 runners on in the first inning. They've got 2 on again here in the top of the second. Ground ball down to third baseline, foul. Third base coach over there does a nice job. Bob Poppets reaching up and snagging that ball flawlessly. Throws it in back into play. It's a 1-1 count to John Layton. The next pitch inside. A breaking pitch that needed about another foot behind home plate to actually cut in across the plate. It was a 59-foot curveball. Count is now 2-1. Next pitch in for strike 2, a fastball. Nipped the inside corner. And 2s are wild on the scoreboard. Number 2 is batting. Ball 2, strike 2, 2 outs, and it's the second inning. And it's a pop-up behind the plate, but it is going to drift out of play over by the Prior Lake concession stand, better known as the Vet Cafe. So twos remain on the scoreboard out there. 2 hits for Chaska. It's inning number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. To jersey number 2, another foul ball. Again, over the Vet Cafe and out of play. 2-2 the count. It's a typical pitcher batter battle here. 2-2, swing and a miss. Koopman gets Layton to go down on strikes, and that'll do it for the Cubs here in the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left on. Middle of 2, it's 1-0 Prior Lake. It's the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the home team. Prior Lake Jays will be Kress, Mitch Goodwin, and Broderick. Adam Kress playing left field tonight. He plays a lot of right field as well. He steps into the right-hand batter's box. Pete Onsorg out for his second inning of work, and he fires a pitch a little bit high. Adam Kress been growing some facial hair out there. Looks like one of the Smith brothers on Smith Brothers Cough Drops boxes. Next pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1. In the bottom of the first, the Jays had a double from Rapinski and a single from Jonesy Bisher. And so far, that's been the only run of the game. Ground ball down the third baseline, foul. Third base coach, Scott Giesler, will pick that one up and put it in his pocket. I think coaching at first base is number 21 for Prior Lake, Zach Matthews. Next pitch fouled off the screen and then deflects over in front of the first base dugout where the Prior Lake Jays are holed up. So the count's 1-2 now to the Jays left fielder Adam Kress. Next pitch outside. They appealed to the first base umpire. He said no go, so it's a 2-2 count to Adam Kress, the number 6 batter. Pitch from Onsorg, a little bit high, ball 3. Trying to get Adam Kress to go upstairs and try to go after that one, but he stood his ground, let it go, and the count has run full. Pitch, fly ball on the infield. First baseman says he's got it, and he does. Hit way up there, up among the light standards, which, by the way, are holding the field lights here, which have been turned on for tonight's game, and now the batter will be Mitch Goodwin, Prior Lake shortstop. First pitch looks like a broken back ground ball to third. Third base over to first for the out. We'll have to see if that bat got broken or not, but it didn't sound very good. So on one pitch, Mitch Goodman grounds out for the second out, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Brant Broderick. Two outs. Batter's number 2. A little squibber down the third baseline. It rolls foul. A big swing, but the ball didn't go very far. It just barely reached the grass next to the third base foul line in foul territory. The 0-1 delivery from Onsorg. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Chaska Cubs come in with a 2-0 conference record. Prior Lake Jays are 2-2. Foul ball off the catcher's mask. In fact, it knocks it off his head, but he's able to catch it, and I think he's going to be all right. The ball deflects all the way back to the screen. 2-2. 0-2 the count with 2 outs. Outside. Trying to get the batter to go after it. He didn't, so it's a 1-2 count. Turned into an excellent evening here in Prior Lake, Minnesota. Foul ball again off the catcher, this time off of the catcher's shin guards. Tell you, if I were going to be a catcher, I could not wear enough equipment. They wear a lot, but I think I'd almost want a full bodysuit of armor. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Broderick goes down swinging, and the Jays go down in the second inning, 1-2-3. We now move to the top of the third. It's Prior Lake 1, Chaska nothing. It's now the top of the third inning, and for the Chaska Cubs, it'll be number 2, 3, and 4 batters. Ben Koopman out to start his third inning. Sure glad you've joined us. By the way, again, if you have some internet issues or some buffering, you might need to reboot or refresh. But we're getting indication that the signal is going out pretty steady over the internet. You may be able to find fault with the announcer and his voice and whatever, but we hope you're enjoying the video as well as the audio. First batter up here in the third inning will be the catcher Justin Johnson. He takes strike 1, and then he swings and misses, so he is in the hole 0-2. Koopman throws high, ball 1. Johnson flied out to right field his first time up. Koopman been working from the stretch. Ground ball foul back to the screen. So glad you have picked up the webcast here tonight. We wish you could actually be here because that's the best place to be for Jays baseball. And a ground ball down the right field line foul. Keeps the count at 1-2. But you can still watch us online. You can also go to GameChanger.com and pick up the live stats on the game. Koopman throws low for ball 2. So there's actually 3 ways, tonight anyway, to catch the live action for the Prior Lake Jays. Be here in person, watch GameChanger.com, or log into YouTube and watch us on the web. That last pitch was low, so it's a 3-2 count, and the pitch is inside for ball 4. Third walk of the game given up by Koopman. That'll bring up Kyle Geeson. He's the number 3 batter in the order. He flew out to right field. His first time up. 1 run, 3 hits so far for the Prior Lake Jays. No run, 2 hits for Chaska. First pitch, curveball outside, low ball 1. Jays have another home game coming up on Tuesday night right here at Veterans Field in Memorial Park. The 1-0 pitch is just a hair high, making the count 2-0. That call could have gone either way, ball or strike. Runner takes his lead at first. Next pitch, low and inside, ball 3. 3-0 the count on Kyle Geeson. Nobody out. The 3-0 pitch. Inside corner for strike 1. It's a 3-1 count. Kyle Geeson, shortstop for the Chaska Cubs. Koopman goes into a stretch. There goes the runner. It's a hit and run. The ball is fouled off over the backstop and out of play. Johnson at first base was off with the pitch, hoping to be able to pull off a successful hit and run there. But with the foul ball, Johnson will go back to first, and the count remains 3-2. There goes the runner again, and the pitch is high, ball 4. So Koopman walks the first 2 batters here in the 3rd inning. And now the catcher Keating will go out and have a little visit with Koopman. Chaska Cubs also have a little bat boy, but I don't think he's 12 years old. He looks quite a bit younger than that. 2 on, nobody out here for Chaska. And the cleanup hitter, Chase Henches, steps into the right-hand batter's box. He worked the first walk of the game off of Koopman back in the 1st inning. And the first pitch, low and outside in the dirt. Keating knocks that one down nicely, deflects it out in front of home plate, and the runners do not advance. Nice play by Tommy Keating to hold the runners on 1st and 2nd. Next pitch, ground ball between short and third. Third baseman over. He tags the runner going to third. And the throw to first base is in time. The throw to first base was kind of into the path of the batter coming down the line, so the first baseman, he takes the ball on the bounce and tags the batter going by, so it is a double play. The runner from second going to third. He is tagged out by the third baseman, Broderick, so there's just a runner on second with 2 outs, and the batter up is the third baseman, Halloran. He pops one into short right field, and actually the center fielder goes into right center to make the catch. So Ben Koopman and the Prior Lake Jays, they work out of a huge jam here in the second inning after the first 2 men got on with walks, then a double play and a fly out, and that does it for the Cubs in the top of the third. Jays 1, Cubs nothing, middle 3. We go to the bottom of the third here in Prior Lake, Minnesota, the site of tonight's town team game between Prior Lake and Chaska. Chaska is another suburb of the Twin Cities, located about 15 miles to the west of Prior Lake. You have to cross the Minnesota River if you can get across it, and it's not flooded, to get over to Chaska. But Chaska is part of the River Valley East Conference, and Jimmy Cosgrove, the DH, stands in, and the first pitch is a strike 1 call from Pete Onsorg, working now in his third inning. Most of the field is still drenched in beautiful sunlight here as the sun begins to set behind the first base dugout. Next pitch, swing and a miss to Cosgrove. So far in the game, Onsorg has 1 strikeout, and now he has 2 as Jimmy tries to swing at that low inside pitch and cannot come up with it. So it's the second strikeout for Onsorg here in the game, and we go back to the top of the order. Zach Rapinski. Rapinski led off the bottom of the first for the Jays with a long drive into deep right center. Bounced off the fence, and he was able to motor into second with a double. First pitch is called strike. That looked outside. Even Rapinski didn't like the call. Rapinski eventually scored on Bisher's single, ground balled on the third baseline. Neatly handled by the third base coach, Scott Giesler. Nice job there by the slick fielding Scott Giesler. So it's an 0-2 count to the leadoff batter, Rapinski, and the pitch is a curveball. Just misses the inside corner. The ball kind of curled around behind home plate, but never did cross the dish. The 1-2 delivery from Onsorg popped up, and it's going to go out of play over the first base dugout. 1-2 count here to the Prior Lake High School graduate, number 19, Zach Rapinski. Also the University of Nebraska graduate. Next pitch in the dirt. Knocked down by the catcher. It's a 2-2 count. Rapinski Can play many positions. He plays the infield. Tonight he's playing center field. 2-2 count now to Rapinski. Hit in the air to left field. It's short. Left fielder comes in. Shortstop goes out. The shortstop calls and catches.
Jays right fielder number 25.
So 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the third. And Jonesy Bisher, the left-handed batting right fielder, comes up. He got an RBI single back in the first inning. He got a single to right field, and Rapinski was able to come home to score. He swings and misses at the first offering from Onsorg. Onsorg working quickly now. Ground ball between first and second. First baseman goes over, scoops, turns, and flips to the pitcher covering first. So it is a 3-1 play, but it is successful to complete the out. And the Jays are out here in the bottom of the third. Prior Lake leads 1-0. Top of the fourth inning, Tyler Peterson leading off for Chaska, and he takes ball one. Next pitch from Koopman's a high bouncing ground ball to short. Shortstop does a good job of taking the funny hop. Mitch Goodwin reaches up and grabs the high hopper. Flips over to first base, and Peterson is the first out here in the top of the fourth inning.
First baseman number 20, Tyler Polster.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Tyler Polster, the left-handed batting first sacker, and he takes ball one, little outside. Polster walked his last time up and ended up being stranded at second base. The 1-0 delivery from Koopman to the long drive into left center. But Zach Rapinski, off with the crack of the bat, makes a beeline for the spot in left center where that ball was going, and he takes an extra base hit away from Polster. Nice running catch out there by Zach Rapinski.
Left fielder, JT Kenix.
Now the batter will be left fielder JT Kanakas. 2 up, 2 down. Koopman winds and fires. Little bit outside, ball one. Hope you're enjoying the webcast tonight. We are enjoying bringing it to you. Want to bring Jays baseball right into wherever you are watching or listening to us. Next pitch is ball, so it's ball 2 to Kanakas. Hopefully the next time you can join us in person. It's a pop fly into short left field. Shortstop Mitch Goodwin goes out, looks up into the sun, and makes the catch. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Ben Koopman and the Prior Lake Jays as the Cubs go down in order. 1-2-3. Middle of 4. Jays 1, Cubs nothing. It is a perfect night for baseball here on Friday, June 28th. Glad that you're out there listening. Hope you're enjoying the webcast. And for the Prior Lake Jays, it'll be Jeff Butler leading off. He's the number 3 batter, takes ball 1 inside. And we've got quite a ball game here at Veterans Field in Prior Lake. Jays 1 run on 3 hits. Chaska no runs on 2 hits. The 1-0 delivery, grounded fouled on the third base line, and that will go down toward the Chaska Cubs bullpen. Chaska dugout is the third base dugout, and their bullpen is down the left field line. Here's the 1-1 delivery from Onsork. Jeff Butler shows bunt. The pitch goes outside. Jeff lets the pitch go by, and it's a 2-1 count to the second baseman. The next pitch, a little grounder out to the pitcher. Pitcher takes it on one hop and throws to first base. So it's a 1-3 play for the Chaska Cubs as Butler goes down.
The catcher, number 24,
Tommy Keating, the catcher, comes up now. He had a single back in the first inning, but he was cut down on a double play ball to end the first inning, and he takes ball 1. Bottom of the 4th inning, and the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Once again, 3 ways to watch tonight's game or keep track of it. You can be here in person at Memorial Park. Next pitch is a foul pop fly over by the first base stands, over by the out-of-play fence. First baseman goes over and cannot quite get there in time. Second way to keep track of the game tonight, watch us here live on the internet. And the third way is to go to GameChanger.com. Go through the menu till you find Your Team and type in Prior Lake Jays. 1-2 count. Line drive into left center. Left fielder goes back and makes a nice running catch just in front of the track. Boy, Keating really struck that ball well. First, it looked like it might drop in there for extra bases, but the left fielder made up ground quickly and caught that ball over his shoulder, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Frederick. First pitch is a strike. Fastball with some good movement on it. The 0-1 pitch, low and outside. They're predicting weather tomorrow That's going to be very hot. Temperatures in the 90s. I think I might find my way to Duluth, Minnesota. Get away from the heat. And the next pitch, low and outside, 2-1. Onsword again working quickly. Next pitch fouled back to the screen to even the count at 2-2. Nice crowd of fans here tonight. A good contingent from Chaska and a good number of Prior Lake people. Next pitch hits the inside corner for strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Onsorg, and that'll do it for the Jays here in inning number 4. No runs, no hits, and nothing across. We begin the top of the 5th inning, and the 9-1-2 batters are due up here for Chaska. Lane, Layton, and Johnson. Tony Lane got a single his first time up, but was stranded as Layton struck out in the top of the 2nd. First pitch from Koopman is high and inside for a ball. Chaska had gotten runners on in each of the first 3 innings, but last inning, the 4th, Koopman set him down 1-2-3. Next pitch comes in from Koopman, high, ball 2. So Tony Lane has a 2-0 count here. And the next pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. Get me over pitch for Ben Koopman. Excellent night to be outside watching baseball. Next pitch, just a smidge high. Pitcher disappointed in that call. That was right in there. 3-1 the count. And the next pitch, high and outside, ball 4. That's the 5th walk given up by Ben Koopman. And we go back to the top of the order. John Layton. Layton so far is 1 for 2, a single in the first, a strikeout in the second. Now timeout's going to be called as the manager, Scott Giesler, will come out and convene a meeting on the mound. We'll be right back with more Jays baseball. Meeting on the mound is over. John Layton, the leadoff batter, steps in with a runner on first, nobody out. First pitch, high curveball, ball one. Action now in the Prior Lake bullpen. Ben Eisenberg starting to warm up for the Jays. Next pitch, line drive deep into left field. And it's in fair territory, just inside the foul pole. By the time the left fielder for the Jays, Adam Kress, can get that ball off the left field fence and throw it in, Lane is on third base and John Layton is on second with a double. A long drive right down the left field line, just in fair territory. Runners on second and third for Chaska, nobody out. And the batter is the catcher, Justin Johnson. He hits one down the right field line foul, all the way down to the Prior Lake bullpen. 0-1 the count. Ben Koopman and the Jays really have their hands full now, with runners on second and third and nobody out. The 0-1 pitch is a ball, low and outside, so it's a 1-1 count now. The number 2 batter, Justin Johnson. Next pitch hit to the first baseman. It gets past him. Second baseman backs him up. He will throw to first for the out. So Justin Johnson is out 4-3 on the play. But the runner, Tony Lane, does come home from third on the ground out. And the runner on second, Layton, he'll move over to third with just one out. So the ground ball out brings home 1 run to tie the game, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Kyle Geeson. Rob Frederick tried to knock that ball down, but it got past him, and the second baseman, Jeff Butler, was backing up very nicely. He scooped it up and then threw to first for the out. Geeson takes ball 1. 1 run, 3 hits for each team. And now a balk has been called on the pitcher, and that will allow the runner on third to score. No RBI on that, but the pitcher made some kind of a move that the catcher said was a balk. Next pitch in for a strike. It's 1-1. So all of a sudden, here in the top of the 5th inning, a walk, a double, a ground out, and a balk, and Chaska has taken the lead 2-1. Ground ball down the third baseline, foul. 1-2 the count now. Ben Eisenberg continues to warm up in the Prior Lake bullpen down the right field line. 1-2 delivery in the dirt. Knocked down by the catcher, Keating. Evens the count at 2-2. Koopman winds and fires. Strike 3 on the inside corner. A nice pitch. Caught the batter looking, and that'll be the second out of the inning. That's the second strikeout of the game now for Koopman. And the right fielder, Chase Henches, will come up. He is 0 for 1. He also had a walk in the first pitch, again on the inside corner, just like that strike 3 call on the previous batter. That's a good pitcher's pitch. Koopman, the 0-1 delivery in the dirt, ball 1. The inning started out here with a walk to the number 9 batter and then a double by the leadoff batter. Next pitch into deep right center. Right and center fielder going over. The center fielder, Rapinski, dives, cannot come up with it. The ball gets on beyond him, and the right fielder for the Jays, Jonesy Bisher, has to go over and back up the play. Rapinski had to go a long way from center field to right center. Made a dive at the last instant. Got some leather on the ball, but it
Third baseman, Matt.
bounced behind him. And Jonesy Bisher throws it in, and by the time they get the ball back to the infield, Henches is on second base with a double. Second double of the inning for the Cubs. And the first pitch here into Matt Halloran is fouled over the backstop and out of play. It's an 0-1 count now to the Chaska third baseman. Left-handed batting Halloran. Next pitch outside. 1-1. What a great place to be on a Friday night. Watching town ball baseball. The 1-1 delivery, line drive into center field. That'll fall in for a hit. Here comes Henches around third. He's going to try to score, and he will. The throw goes into second base. So an RBI single for Halloran brings Henches home with the third run of the inning and of the game for Chaska, increasing their lead to 3-1. Halloran on first base now with 2 outs, and the batter, the DH, Tyler Peterson. And there goes the runner, and the ball is hit in the air out by second base between first and second. Second baseman Butler goes over and calls and catches. And that is the third out here in the fifth inning. The Chaska Cubs come home with 3 runs. They had 3 hits and 1 left on base. 1 very important walk there to start the inning for the Chaska Cubs. So we're in the middle of 5. 3-1 Chaska. Well, the Jays have some work to do now after Chaska put a 3 spot on the board in the top of the 5th inning. Adam Kress will lead off the bottom of the 5th inning for Prior Lake. Chaska with 3 1s on 3 hits there in the top of the 5th inning, and they lead 3-1. On Sorg starts the 5th inning of work, and there's a ground ball off the bat of Kress out to shortstop. Shortstop takes it, throws to first for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Jays, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Mitch Goodwin. A lot of ground outs here tonight.
Shortstop, Mitch Goodwin.
Mitch Goodwin, he grounded out his first time up. And the first pitch is fouled back to the screen for strike 1. That was an excuse me swing that Mitch would like to have back. Counts 0-1. Ground ball down the third baseline, just foul. Just before it got to the third base bag, it skipped out of play or skipped foul. Goes way down the left field line. One of the bench players for the Cubs goes down and retrieves it. Mitch is in the hole, 0-2. Onsor delivers, line drive right to the third baseman. Mitch couldn't hit it any harder than that, but it was right at the third baseman, and that'll bring up Brant Broderick, the Prior Lake third baseman. Mitch Goodwin hits a screamer to third, caught by the third baseman, and that'll bring up Broderick, who swings and misses at the first pitch. Pete Onsor working from a lead now for the first time in the game. He pitches, and there's a pop fly out near second base. Second baseman calls for it and catches it for the third out. Boy, Onsor made quick work of the Prior Lake Jays there in the bottom of the fifth inning. In fact, the Jays have not had a base runner since that first inning when they scored their one run. So we go to the top of the sixth inning. Chaska 3, Prior Lake 1. We go to the top of the sixth inning, and Prior Lake brings in a new pitcher, number 21, Zach Matthews. So Zach will take over on the mound. Second pitcher of the game for the Jays, Ben Koopman, worked the first 5 innings, gave up 3 runs on 5 hits. And the leadoff batter here in the top of the sixth inning will be the first baseman, Tyler Polster. Polster was 0 for 1 against Koopman. He also had a walk. First pitch is outside for a ball. Matthews works from the stretch. Next pitch, down low, ball 2. Koopman gave up 5 walks when he was in there, and one of those walks led to the first run of the game for Chaska. Next pitch from Matthews is ball 3. It's a 3-0 count to Tyler Polster. Next pitch in there for a strike. Polster has a sidearm delivery. Gives it the old whip around look. And he throws it inside for ball 4. Polster will go down to first base, and that'll bring up the left fielder, J.T. Kanakis. Another left-handed batter in the Cubs lineup. Chaska Cubs had the same color uniform as the Chicago Cubs. And they have Cubs across the front in red letters. And the jersey is blue, and their numbers are on the back in red. So it looks very much like the Chicago Cubs. First pitch comes in from Matthews for strike one. Matthews goes into the stretch, checks the runner at first, and delivers line drive beyond the second baseman into center field. Butler made a real effort out there with a dive toward the second base bag, but the ball was already past him, and Kanakis will be on first base with a hit. That'll send Polster out to second and bring up the second baseman, Tony Lane. 2 on, nobody out here for the Chaska Cubs. Matthews from the stretch. He delivers. The batter shows bunt, but he pulls the bat back and takes ball one. Matthews from the stretch delivers. The batter shows bunt. There is a bunt down the third baseline. The pitcher goes over and fields it, and then he slips and falls. So it's not only a sacrifice, but it's a base hit. And Tony Lane, the number 9 batter, he's on for the third time. He has 2 hits and a walk and a run scored. So the bases are now loaded, and the top of the order is up, John Layton. So Zach Matthews and the Prior Lake Jays, they really have their work cut out for him now. First pitch, inside corner, strike one. Matthews throws very sidearm and throws high and outside for a ball. He really whips that right arm around when he comes from about third base when he throws it. And the 1-1 delivery popped up in the air. Shortstop goes over by third base. He'll make the catch. Nice play by Goodwin. That'll be the first out here in the 6th inning. Mitch Goodwin took charge on that one. He ran all the way from his shortstop position, almost all the way over to the third base bag, and made the catch. So the bases are still loaded. 1 out now, and the catcher, Justin Johnson, is up. First pitch down low, ball 1. Johnson has a walk, and he's 0 for 2 beyond that. He grounded out in the 5th inning, and that produced a run for the Cubs. Next pitch inside, ball 2. Two 0 count now to the catcher, Johnson, with the bases full of Cubs. Next pitch, low and inside, ball 3. Matthews in danger here of walking in a run, giving the Cubs a freebie. And the pitch high and outside, ball 4. And in fact, a run does score. Polster, who led off the inning with a walk, he will come home to score. It's an RBI walk for Johnson. He now has 2 RBIs in the game. And the bat will be the shortstop, Kyle Gleason. Gleason's 0 for 2 in the game. He also has a walk. Matthews fires sidearm, low in the dirt, ball 1. Chaska now with 4 runs on 7 hits. Matthews winds and fires outside high, ball 2. It's a 2-0 count now. Game was sailing along quite quickly till the 5th inning when Chaska scored 3, and now they've scored one more and in danger of scoring more as the count runs to 3-0 now on Kyle Gleason. Gleason from the stretch delivers in there for a strike. 3-1 the count now. Matthews gets his sign from the catcher. Delivers outside. Ball 4. That's the third walk of the inning given up by Matthews and the second run of the inning. Time is called, and the Prior Lake manager, Scott Giesler, will go out and have a conference on the mound. We'll be right back. It's the top of the 6th inning. Chaska 5, Prior Lake 1. The meeting on the mound resulted in a pitching change for the Prior Lake Jays. New pitcher is now number 37, Ben Eisenberg. And first pitch into Henches, swing and a miss, strike 1. Next pitch comes in, outside corner, strike 2. The 0-2 delivery from Eisenberg popped up in the air behind home plate, but it'll make its way over the backstop and out of play. It's an 0-2 count here. The bases are loaded, 1 out. Chaska has 2 runs in to make the score 5-1. Eisenberg throws one in the dirt. It skips away from the catcher, but not very far. And Tommy Keating goes over and tracks it down. 1-2 now to the right fielder, Chase Henches. He is 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Next pitch, ground ball to third. Third baseman, it bounces off his glove out into left field. 1 run's going to score. Here comes the second run, and the ball skips past the catcher, so the second run will score. Pitcher Eisenberg comes in to back up the play, but that was a high hopper that bounced off the third baseman's glove. Not sure what the official scorer is going to give it. But Tony Lane and Justin Johnson come home to score. Official scorer gives it an error. So it's an error on the third baseman, allowing 2 runs to score. And that'll make the score 7-1. Runners on second and third. And the batter will be Matt Halloran, the third baseman. Long drive deep into right field. Way back, way back. And it's out of here. Matt Halloran took that first offering from Eisenberg and just hit it deep into right field, probably about 15 feet fair. 3 more runs will score as that home run clears the bases. And now Chaska has 7 runs here in the 6th inning, making the score 10-1. The designated hitter, Tyler Peterson, comes up now.
DH Tyler Peterson.
So everything going right for the Cubs here in the 6th inning. First pitch in for a strike. They picked up 3 walks. They had the benefit of an error. They had 2 singles and a home run. Next pitch is fouled over the backstop for strike 2. So it's 0-2 now to Peterson. Peterson 0 for 3 so far in the game. Eisenberg with a double pump throws in. Peterson fouls that one over the backstop. Count remains 0-2. Once again, if you may be having a little trouble with the webcast tonight, either buffering or pixelating or stopping, just hit your refresh button once or twice. Reboot or come back into the webcast the way that you know how to do, and it looks like we've been having a pretty clean broadcast tonight. Next pitch swung on and missed, and Eisenberg gets Peterson to strike out. That was the 9th batter of the inning. So the 10th batter of the inning coming up now, Tyler Polster. He led off this 6th inning with a walk, and he was the first runner to score for Chaska here in the 6th inning. He takes strike 1 on the inside corner. Nice breaking pitch from Eisenberg. Eisenberg, a recent Prior Lake graduate, throws outside for a ball. Here's the 1-1 pitch, low, ball 2. Polster now with a 2-1 count. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Next pitch, low, ball 3. The count. Next pitch, a high hopper to first baseman. He'll scoop it up and toss to the pitcher covering. Nice play by the first baseman, Frederick, and that'll finally do it for the Cubs here in the 6th inning. 10 men come to bat, and they score 7 runs. They had 3 hits and nobody left on base. We're in the middle of the 6th inning. Chaska 10 and Prior Lake 1. It's the bottom of the sixth inning, and the Prior Lake Jays now trail 10-1. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for Prior Lake. Jimmy Cosgrove is the first batter. Pete Onsorg starting his sixth inning of work, and he fires strike one. Onsorg doing a good job of working the inside corner, the outside corner, different speeds. Next pitch, a weak ground ball out to shortstop. Shortstop comes in, picks it up on the short top, and throws Cosgrove out at first base. Tough little grounder there, just a nibbler out to the shortstop. The shortstop did a good job of attacking the ball, scooping up the short hop, and throwing Cosgrove out at first. Back to the top of the order, Zach Rapinski. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. He has the only run scored for the Jays tonight, as he doubled in the first inning, came home on Jonesy Bisher's single, and Zach Rapinski fouls the first one back. Next pitch, fouled down the third baseline, and once again, the sure-handed Scott Giesler down there in the third base coasting box gobbles that one up, no problem. That runs the count to 0-2 now to the Prior Lake center fielder. Onsorg's pitch in the dirt. Ball 1-2. One and two the count here to the Jays leadoff batter. The next pitch, line against the fence in front of the third base dugout. Good battle here between the pitcher Onsorg and the batter Rapinski. Next pitch, inside, just missed the inside corner. Curveball that didn't quite make it in for the strike. And the count's 2-2. Next pitch, hit in the air over by third base. The third baseman calls and catches, and there are 2 outs.
Right fielder, number 25, Jonesy Bisher.
Jonesy Bisher comes up now. He bats number 2 in tonight's Prior Lake batting order. He is 1 for 2. He had an RBI single back in the first inning. Scored the only run of the game so far for Prior Lake, and he fouls one off 0-1. Bisher patrolling out in right field tonight for the Prior Lake Jays. Next pitch grounded out to short. It's a grass skimmer. Shortstop comes in, throws to first, and just nips Jonesy Bisher at first base. Tough play by the shortstop, but he's able to scoop it up and make the play. That's it. 1-2-3 for the Jays here in the sixth inning. We go to inning number 7. It's 10-1 Chaska. We go to the top of the seventh inning, and fans, I'm kind of an old romantic when it comes to beautiful scenes, and if you look on your screen, that sunset sky out over right center field. It's absolutely gorgeous here in Prior Lake as the sun goes down. And the first batter will be the pinch hitter, number 4, Mike Edlofson, and he will pop out to the shortstop. For the first out here, Eisenberg continues on the mound for the Prior Lake Jays, and that'll bring up Tony Lane, the number 9 batter, and he has really been successful tonight with a walk and 2 singles, and he takes strike 1. So Mike Edlofson is now the left fielder for Chaska. Ball 1 high, 1-1. And going into play right field will be number 14, Jason Durkovich. Ball 2 comes in from Eisenberg. Ground ball down the first base line. That'll go foul and down into the corner. So number 4, Mike Edlofson, just pinch hit for the left fielder, Kanakis. 1 out. There's a 2-2 count, ball in the dirt. The catcher, Keating, knocks it down. It bounces out in front of home plate. Tommy goes out and throws it to the pitcher. The count's gone full now to Tony Lane. Eisenberg fires high, ball 4, and Tony Lane is on for the 4th time tonight. Number 9 batter. 2 walks and 2 singles. Top of the order for Chaska, John Layton. Commenting on that sky, it is absolutely gorgeous here tonight with the light, fleecy clouds above and the sun reflecting off of them. It is awesome. First pitch swung on and missed. Good pitch there from Eisenberg. He gets ahead in the count, 0-1. It's one of these skies that you just don't want to change. You want to have it stay out there till the game is over. Eisenberg from the stretch delivers low, ball 1, 1-1. The leadoff batter, Layton, so far in the game. He is 2 for 4. He has a single, a double, and a run scored for the Chaska Cubs. Eisenberg from the stretch. Fires in there. A slow curveball nipped the outside corner. It's 1-2 now. To the center fielder, Layton. Layton with an extremely open stance up there. Left foot looking toward third base. Swing and a miss. And Layton strikes out again on a wide sweeping curveball. 2 outs now. Runner still on first. And we have a pinch hitter now coming up for the catcher, Johnson. And it'll be Brad Worm coming up. I don't know if this is a permanent substitution for the Cubs. We'll find out when they go back on the field on defense. Throw to first, the runner's back. First pitch into Worm is strike 1. Two outs, 0-1 count here. Eisenberg delivers outside all the way back to the backstop. Tony Lane will move down to second base on the wild pitch. And the count's 1-1 now. Eisenberg gets the sign, checks second, and fires home. Strike 2. Breaking pitch that hit the inside corner. 1-2 now. To the pinch hitter, Brad Worm. The pitch just a bit outside. Did not miss by much on that one. That was close. 2-2 now. On number 24, Brad Worm. Eisenberg comes in. The ball is swung on and missed. The ball goes into the dirt. So Tommy Keating scoops it out of the dirt, steps out in front of home plate, throws to first base to complete the strikeout. So that'll do it for the Cubs here in the top of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, and 1 left on base. Hey, it's stretch time, middle of the 7th inning. We'll let you listen along to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. That's what I thought. 14 out in right field. Okay. And number 4 in left field? Number 4 is in left field. Okay, thank you. I left it on. 14. Catcher does re-enter the game after being pinch hit for. So Justin Johnson back behind the plate, and the leadoff batter for the Jays, second baseman Jeff Butler. Butler with a sharp one-hopper down the third baseline, and that'll bounce over the third baseman's head for a ground rule, or for a single rather. Nasty hop there, going down the third baseline. That'll be the 4th hit of the game for the Prior Lake Jays, as Jeff Butler gets on with a single here in the 7th inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Tommy Keating. Nobody out. Jays have a runner on first. Onsort pitches high and inside for ball 1. Catcher's going out now. Talk to his pitcher. And for some reason, the Prior Lake runner, Jeff Butler, is allowed to go to second base. Must have been some kind of a hitch in Onsorg's delivery, causing a balk call. So Butler now on second base. And Keating with an 0-0 count. First pitch hit in the air into right center field. The right fielder will go over, make the catch. He will catch it. Jeff Butler will tag and go to third base.
First baseman number 6.
So the Jays have a runner on third with 1 out, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Frederick. So far in our game, Rob Frederick is 0 for 2. This is his 3rd time up, and he takes a ball inside. Frederick batting in the 5th position here for the Jays tonight. Ball 2 inside. 2-0 the count. Jays trying somehow to get Jeff Butler home from third here. Next pitch swung on and missed. 2-1 the count on Rob Frederick. Bottom of the seventh inning. Jays trailing 10-1. They do have a runner on third, though, with just one out. Next pitch fouled over the first base dugout and out of play. That evens the count at 2-2. Frederick with a white number 6 on the back of his Jays uniform. Asks for time, and it's granted by the home plate umpire. The base umpire now is standing out there between second and third base. 2-2 pitch down in the dirt. The batter took a partial swing. The base umpire said no swing, so the count goes to 3-2 here on the Jays' first baseman, Rob Frederick. On Sorg, the stretch, the pitch, inside ball 4. So the Jays have 2 runners on now as Frederick works a walk, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Adam Kress. Kress in our game tonight is 0 for 2. Kress with a pop out and a ground out. Jays still trying to get that runner home from third. Only one out. Onsorg from the stretch. Delivers. Ground ball to the third baseman. Third baseman will go to second for 1. Back to first. Safe. The throw from second pulled the first baseman off the bag. That will allow Jeff Butler to score from third. It'll be an RBI for Adam Kress. Rob Frederick will be cut down at second base on the force out, and now Adam Kress will become the runner, and it's 10-2. First pitch in for a strike to the Prior Lake shortstop, Mitch Goodwin. So a fielder's choice off the bat of Adam Kress brings Butler home and makes the score 10-2. Next pitch fouled off over by the third base dugout, and that'll make the count 0-2 to Mitch Goodwin. Two outs, runner on first base. And the pitch, line drive into left field, that will be foul. Not by much. Down that left field line, and it just hooked foul. That would probably have sent the runner on first all the way to third and probably given Mitch Goodman a double. But the count remains 0-2 to Mitch Goodwin. Next pitch. A little bit low and outside, ball 1. Mitch Goodwin wearing number 1 tonight. Normally he wears number 12. Here's the 1-2 delivery from Onsorg. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now. The Jays with a single, a walk, and a ground out to produce a run here in the 7th. Next pitch outside, ball 3. Traveling time now for the runner on first. 2 outs, 3-2 count. Adam Kress can leave a little early over there. And he does. Next pitch hit in the air to right center field. Center fielder ranges over. And now he loses it in the lights. So it'll fall in for a hit. It'll turn out to be a double. Center fielder went over into right center. Looked like he had the ball in his sights. But then all of a sudden he lost it in tonight's sky or lights, whatever. It'll be a double for the Prior Lake shortstop. And that'll send Crest to third base, and that'll bring up Brant Broderick, the third baseman. 2 on now for the Jays with 2 outs, and the first pitch, a ground ball over the pitcher's head out to second. Second base throws to the first for the out. So the ground out is the final out here in the bottom of the 7th. The Jays, 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 left on base. We go to the 8th inning. It's 10-2 Chaska. Top of the 8th inning now for Chaska. Kyle Geeson, the shortstop, will lead off. This is his 5th time up. He takes strike 1. He's 0 for 2, and he has 2 walks in the game tonight. Eisenberg still working on the mound for the Jays. Geeson fouls one down the first base line, but it will hit out of play over by the batting cage, and it will deflect off the batting cage back onto the field. So Rob Frederick, the first baseman, goes down the first base line and picks up that foul ball. Next pitch swung on and missed, and Geeson goes down swinging. The batter is the new right fielder, Jason Durkevich, and he takes a strike 1 call on the outside corner. The 0-1 pitch is ball 1, 1-1. Durkevich came in the 6th inning, and he pinch hit for Chase Henches. And the next pitch is a ball, 2-1 now. Eisenberg fires. Foul back to the screen. You might have heard it hit the backstop here next to our broadcast booth. We're behind home plate, as you can see, just a little bit to the left of the catcher and the umpire. Number 14, Jason Durkevich. Eisenberg with a double pump. Fires low, ball 3. Count's full now on Durkevich, and the 3-2. Line drive, but fouled on the right field line. Pitch was on the outside corner. Durkevich went with the pitch, but fouled it down the right field line, out of play. Eisenberg gets his sign, goes into the windup, delivers outside low, ball 4. So with 1 out here in the 8th inning, Turkevich reaches on a walk. And that brings up the third baseman, Matt Halloran.
Third baseman, Matt. Hello.
Hopefully this beautiful night of baseball here in Prior Lake will inspire you to come out to our next home game Tuesday night right here at Veterans Field in Memorial Park. Prior Lake Jays will face the very tough Chanhassen Redbirds. First pitch comes in to Halloran's low, ball one. If you feel like traveling with the team, Prior Lake is going to play at Burnsville Monday night at Ollie Magnet. So they got 2 games right in a row, Monday and Tuesday next week. Next pitch foul back to the screen just above our broadcast booth here. Both games are scheduled to start at 7:30, Monday and Tuesday. Halloran so far in the game is 2 for 4 with a single and a 3-run homer. Eisenberg stretches and fires. Ground ball to the first baseman, it bounces over him. A very high hop. First baseman went down to scoop up that grounder, and it just skipped right over his head for a base hit. So 2 on now and 1 out. Turkevich moves up to second base. Halloran now on first base. And the DH, Tyler Peterson, comes up. Peterson 0 for 4 so far tonight. Eisenberg with the pitch, swing and a miss. Took something off that. Got the batter to swing early. 0-1 the count to Peterson. Here's the stretch, the look to second, and the delivery. Swing and a miss as a wide sweeping pitch floats outside, and the batter swings and misses. 0-2 now. Eisenberg checks second and delivers. Swing and a foul tip, and the catcher could not quite hang on to it. Keating made a really good effort there to track down that foul tip, and he got it in his glove, and then it fell to the ground. 0-2 still to Peterson. Next pitch outside, just missing the outside corner. A good 0-2 pitch from Eisenberg, making the batter think to decide, do I need to swing at this or not? Here's the 1-2 delivery, hit in the air to left field. The left fielder cannot find it in the lights, and it will fall for a hit. And that will load the bases. Adam Kress out there looked like he had it in his sights once again. But as the ball was coming down, he lost sight of it, and the ball fell in for a single.
First baseman, Tyler. Polster.
Turkevich moves to third. Halloran to second. Tyler Peterson's on first. And the batter is Tyler Polster, the first baseman. From the full windup, Eisenberg throws a strike over the outside corner. Polster is 0 for 1, and he has 2 walks. Next pitch, nifty little breaking pitch that started up at around the letters and broke down to the knees for a strike. 0-2 now to Polster. Bases loaded, 1 out. Next pitch, low and outside, ball 2. One and 2 the count. Eisenberg with the delivery. Line drive into center field. Rapinski is there. He will make the catch. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Tagging up and scoring, Turkevich. Sack fly off the bat of Polster.
For the Cubs, number 4, Mike Edlifson.
The other runners stay put on first and second, so there's 2 outs now. And the batter is Mike Edlifson, the left fielder. Number 8 batter in the Chaska order. Eisenberg fires outside and low ball 1. A strikeout started off this inning, and then a walk, 2 hits, and a sac fly. Next delivery, swung on and missed. 1-1. A good fastball from Eisenberg, number 37. He's the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Jays. The pitch high and outside. 2-1 now. Edlifson, the batter. Eisenberg, the pitcher, and he fires. Slow breaking pitch hits the inside corner for strike 2. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 on. The check and the pitch. Low ball 3. Three-2 the count now. Runners can be off early with a full count and 2 outs. And they leave early, and the pitch high, ball 4. He tried for that sharp breaking curveball, but it just didn't drop into the zone quickly enough. And it's a walk loading the bases and brings up Tony Lane. And we've got timeout on the field now as we have a conference with the manager and the team all around Scott Giesler. We'll be right back with more Jays baseball. Conference is over and Tony Lane steps in. Yep, the same Tony Lane that's been on base all 4 times tonight with 2 walks and 2 singles, and he takes ball 1. I think that trip to the mound may have been to remind the Prior Lake players that right now the run differential is 9, and they want to avoid going behind by 10. And if Tony Lane gets on, at least 1 more run would score to make it at least a 10-run difference. And the next pitch from Eisenberg goes outside. So it's a 3-0 count here to Tony Lane. Next pitch right down the middle for a strike. That was a no-doubter, and it makes the count 3-1. Eisenberg swings, and there goes, or pitches, and there goes a long drive into right field. And it's going to bounce off the fence. 1 run's going to score. 2 runs are going to score. 3 runs are going to score. So on that 3-run pitch, 3-1 pitch, Tony Lane hits a long drive over the right fielder's head, off the wall in right field. Tony Lane is on base for the 5th time. He gets a bases-clearing double, and it now makes a score 14-2 and turns the lineup over to the top of the batting order. John Layton, he takes ball 1. Halloran comes home to score. Peterson comes home to score. And Edlifson comes home to score. Eisenberg fires, swing and a miss. If you were picking a player of the game for Chaska tonight, I guess I would vote for Tony Lane. He has really done well on the offensive side. Next pitch is a called strike. It's 1-2 now. Tony Lane has been on base 5 times, has 3 RBIs, and has scored 2 runs. Next pitch gets away from the catcher, but quickly Tommy Keating goes back, jumps on it, makes sure the runner does not advance to third. It's a 1-2 count now to Layton. Eisenberg pitches. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, and that will do it for the Cubs. But they do score 4 runs here in the top of the 8th inning. They did it with 3 hits and 2 walks. In the middle of the 8th inning, Chaska 14, Prior Lake 2. Pitching change now for the Chaska Cubs. Number 41, Andy Dewalter, enters the game. The starting pitcher, Pete Onsork, pitched 7 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. First pitch into Cosgrove is ball 1. Dewalter, a left-handed pitcher. He is a veteran, just like Onsork. Next pitch outside, low ball 2. Dewalter has been pitching for the Cubs quite a few years. 2-0 pitch is outside. It's ball 3. Cosgrove, the number 9 batter. Top of the order waiting on deck. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike. Three-1. On the DH, Jimmy Cosgrove. Next pitch, low, ball 4. Cosgrove gets on. That'll bring up the top of the order, Zach Rapinski. Rapinski in the game so far is 1 for 3. He had a leadoff double way back in the first inning and scored the first run of the game for the Jays. Ball 1 outside. In fact, it was the only run of the game until the top of the 5th inning when Chaska finally scored. Next pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. On the scoreboard, I don't think you can probably see it on your screen, but it's Chaska 14 runs on 11 hits. The Jays 2 runs on 4 hits. Next pitch way inside. 2-1. Dewalter from the stretch delivers, swing and a miss. That was a nasty breaking pitch that Zach Rapinski could not find. And the count is even 2-2. Dewalter checks the runner at first and delivers, swing and a miss, strike 3. One out now, runner on first.
The right fielder, number 25.
That'll bring up Jonesy Bisher. Bisher had a hit in the first inning and brought home the first run of the game. Since then, he's been 0 for 2, so he's 1 for 3 in the game with an RBI single. He takes ball 1. Left-handed pitcher against left-handed batter here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Next pitch in the dirt, ball 2. Jonesy Bisher, the speedy outfielder for the Jays, and he hits one into left field. Left fielder comes in, and now he goes back, and he finally does make the catch. He came in a few steps, and then stopped, and then hustled back, and was able to track that one down for out number 2.
Second baseman.
With 2 outs, that'll bring up Jeff Butler. Jeff Butler's 1 for 3. He had a single in the 7th inning and scored the second run of the game for the Jays. Butler, wearing number 8 on the back of his Jays jersey, takes ball 1. 1 on, 2 outs here for the Jays in the bottom of the 8th. And the pitch, a little bit low and inside, ball 2. A good eye there by Butler, letting that one go by for a ball. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Next pitch, hit in the air into short left field. Shortstop goes back, center fielder comes in, and it's going to drop in there for a hit. That ball was hard to follow because it went way up. It looked like it was maybe just going to be an infield pop, and then it just kept carrying. And eventually, it dropped in there just beyond the shortstop's glove. So Butler has another single. He's 2 for 4. 2 on, 2 out. And the batter is Tommy Keating. First pitch into Tommy's high and outside for a ball. Perfect baseball weather this evening here at Veterans Field in Memorial Park. Ball 2 high. Keating so far in the game is 1 for 3 with a single. He also hit a screaming liner out to left field that was caught. Next pitch popped in the air behind home plate. Catcher comes back, and was not able to corral that one. He came back to the screen, and then he had to reverse himself, go back toward home plate, and in the process was not able to catch up with the ball. So it's a 2-1 count now to the Prior Lake catcher, number 24, Tommy Keating. 2-1 pitch, fouled back to the screen. It's 2-2. Keating getting good hacks up there. Getting very close to putting good wood on the ball. 2-2 from Dewalter, fouled back to the screen again. Tommy is almost squaring that ball up and sending it for a ride. He is right on the pitcher here. 2-2 the count with 2 outs and 2 on. Dewalter fires curveball inside, ball 3. Full count, 2 outs, 2 on. The runners will be leaving early. And they do, and the pitch outside, low ball 3. Now the bases are loaded. Keating did a good job working a walk that time. First 2 pitches were balls. The next 2 he fouled back. Next 3 were fouled back, and then 2 more bad pitches, and he's on base. The base is loaded, and that'll bring up first baseman Rob Frederick. First pitch hit in the air, foul over the first base dugout. That'll land out of play. Just don't hit the red car over there, please, because that one might be mine. I didn't hear any broken glass, so maybe I'm all right. Next pitch inside for a ball. It's 1-1. I'm parked behind a big pickup, so I'm hoping that will kind of guard my little car. The 1-1 to Frederick. Again fouled back, but this one bounces off the backstop, so I don't have to worry about that one hitting the car. Frederick with a 1-2 count. 3 runners on here for the Jays. 1-2 pitch inside. Frederick had a notion at that. That curveball came in and broke sharply off the plate to even the count at 2-2. Next pitch fouled back to the screen. I think that one might have deflected off the catcher's mask. That was nasty. Think the catcher's going to be okay. Count remains 2-2 with 2 outs. Pitcher gets his sign, checks the runners. Fires. Another one over the screen, over by the red car. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Uh-oh. That didn't sound good at all. Gonna have to call my insurance man, I think. Here's the 2-2. Outside, ball 3. That was close. Now they got the runner maybe picked off third. The throw down to third. But the runner gets back safely. Jimmy Cosgrove, the runner on third, had taken a big lead down the third baseline, but he gets back all right. 3-2, 2 outs. Next pitch, fouled off. This one again hit the catcher somewhere and deflected over by the first base dugout. Rob Frederick doing battle here with the pitcher Dewalter. The next 3-2 delivery, a little bit inside. Just missed the inside corner. That'll force in a run as Jimmy Cosgrove scores. Jimmy Cosgrove led off the inning with a walk, so he comes home after the walk. That actually is the 3rd walk of the inning for the Jays. That'll make the score 14-3. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Adam Kress. And the first pitch into Kress on the outside corner for a strike. Adam wasn't sure that was a strike. It's 0-1 now to number 13, Adam Kress. Next pitch in there, and that was a good strike for 0-2. 0-2 now with a 14-3 score. And the base is still loaded, full of Jays. Next pitch in there, strike 3, and that will do it for the 8th inning, and that will do it for the game. In that 8th inning, the Jays score 1 run. They had 1 hit. They had 3 walks, and they leave 3 runners on. So with a score of 14-3, the 10-run rule will take over and mean that the Chaska Cubs have defeated the Prior Lake Jays here. in an 8-inning game by a final score of 14-3. Chaska 14 runs on 11 hits. The Jays 3 runs on 5 hits. The winning pitcher was Pete Onsorg, as he went 7 innings, giving up only 2 runs on 4 hits. Losing pitcher, the starter for the Jays, Ben Koopman, he went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. That'll do it for Jays baseball here tonight in Prior Lake, Minnesota. So glad you've joined us on the internet. We hope you have an absolutely glorious weekend. And for Jays fans, they will be on the road on Monday night playing Burnsville at Ollie Magnet Field. And then Tuesday, right back here at Veterans Field in Prior Lake, they will host the very tough Chanhassen Redbirds. Both of those games, Monday and Tuesday, scheduled to start at 7:30. Thank you. We appreciate you being there, and I am now rounding third and heading home.